Welcome to WatchMojoUK, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 careers that fell apart when the star departed the show. We'll be looking at British presenters, actors, performers, or multitasking TV and film stars who opted for a career evolution only to find it fall apart instead.
Before we begin, we publish new content every day, so be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos.
Martin Kemp, EastEnders.
We've got some good stuff here.
When it came to casting EastEnders' next big bad of Steve Owen, Spandau Ballet bassist Martin Kemp was a shoo-in. No one should have been surprised that the musician could act. His turn as Reggie Kray was being lauded, while one half of Tom Hardy was still at school.
Identical twins who rose from poverty.
Yet EastEnders made Kemp the actor a household name, with his performance even winning him a slew of awards. More impressive was that he was still recovering from the removal of 2 brain tumours for most of his time working on the soap. However, his departure from the show for rival ITV wasn't as career-friendly. A few one-off dramas led to one-off appearances in other shows. He's rarely on screen as an actor these days, but is now more as a presenter.
So, that doesn't mean to say you won't let me take you out somewhere.
Michael Bailey, Skins. Skins. A show that arguably ended way after it should have. More on that in another video. The teen drama's meteoric rise in popularity carried its first generation core of actors with it to the top, mostly. While Nicholas Hoult beasted his way to Lex Luthor, Dev Patel hit the jackpot, and Daniel Kaluuya noped his way to an Oscar, Mike Bailey, the actor behind Sid, simply didn't.
You did that on purpose?
Though Bailey didn't technically quit Skins, his career didn't really take off after his character's generation left the show that made them. A few non-starters later, and Bailey quit the acting profession altogether.
Why is this my fault?
There is a silver lining though. Michael James Bailey is now better known as Mr. Bailey, or Sir, having taken up a noble career in teaching. Preston, never mind the buzzcocks.
So I guess I will be matter of fact.
Our next one is a bit of a cheat, as this entry is kind of famous because he quit the show. Preston was the frontman of pop band The Ordinary Boys. After they temporarily disbanded, he went solo into the Celebrity Big Brother house, where he met his now ex-wife, Chantel Horton. In 2007, Preston appeared on the music comedy panel show Nevermind the Buzzcocks, then hosted by serial roaster Simon Amstel.
The Paris Hilton work was a low point for me. It wasn't what I wanted to be doing, and on top of that, it caused me some real problems with my hair.
Already nonplussed and clearly unaware that the rinsing was atypical, Preston threw a strop and walked.
The photo shoot was for the Daily Mail, which made me feel really posh and upmarket.
However, the show actually got funnier, as the team simply replaced Preston with an audience member who looked Preston-ish. He now regrets it, but to most people, Preston is really just known as a place in Lancashire, not a singer-songwriter. Chris Moyles, BBC Radio 1.
Thank you for listening, thanks for supporting us.
With Chris Moyles, we have a career that died, but was revived. The eponymous Chris Moyles show brought a fresh irreverence, albeit with some controversies, and record numbers of listeners to the BBC's flagship radio station. Yet in 2012, Moyles left radio, ostensibly for TV. After all, his quiz show had enjoyed 4 years over on Channel 4, and he was co-hosting Sky's dating show, The Love Machine.
Come on, let's play Spin the Love Machine!
Yet, mere months later, that also ended. For years, Moyles was rarely seen nor heard by the masses. Instead, he'd taken to the stage, live performances seemingly being Moyles' sole outlet. In 2015, just when it looked like his radio career had flatlined, Radio X delivered CPR, resurrected the Chris Moyles show, and returned his tones to the airwaves.
Chris Moyles is back.
Tom Malone Jr Gogglebox.
Do you think you can't see him?
Dave.
Few have made it from the world of Gogglebox, a show that showcases people watching TV shows. Scarlett Moffat is perhaps the only one who successfully went from viewer to viewed, but even that was via radio and the jungle. Tom Malone Jr may have set his sights a little too high when he left the family sofa in 2021.
It's done, Dave!
His departing Gogglebox was both in protest of his girlfriend not being cast, but mainly in search of more opportunities on TV. which haven't really emerged. His family remain a stalwart of the show, though he hasn't returned to it, resetting his focus to his dancing career and raising awareness to various causes, using his own experiences of receiving a late diagnosis of autism. Anne Robinson, the weakest link.
They don't know each other, however, if they want the prize money, they'll have to work as a team.
With all due respect to Ramesh Ranganathan, whenever most Brits think of the weakest link, their minds instantly go to the Queen of Mean, Anne Robinson. The Wednesday Witch was already well known as a journalist and presenter of Points of View, but her selection as the cold, hard-hitting host of the ruthless weakest link really made her a true star. Not only in Blighty, but across the pond in the US as well. In 2011, after over 1,600 shows, she stepped down from Weakest Link and a few other major shows for reasons not really clear at the time.
You've been watching The Weakest Link. Goodbye.
After a decade away from hosting, Robinson returned to Front Countdown, but that was also short-lived. It seems it truly was goodbye.
Thanks for watching. See you tomorrow. Goodbye.
James Cordon, The Late Late Show with James Cordon. On balance, James Cordon really doesn't do himself any favours. First, he quit making Gavin and Stacy, which was, well, unforgivable. We thought that the wave of apathy accompanying his stint in Hollywood would have ended his acting career altogether. Still, he changed up, taking over hosting The Late Late Show and seemingly keeping him across the pond in a new career. Controversies over his ego, plagiarism, and conflicts with the writers nearly ended that dream, but just when we thought he'd abandoned the UK for good, Cordon resigned from the US show.
So more than anything, I will just miss going into work with my friends every day.
Alas, he was coming back, killing off his hosting career to re-resurrect what had made him in the first place. Finally, more Gavin and Stacy. Regé-Jean Page, Bridgerton.
And what I do not know is how to be the man you need me to be.
There was a time, very recently, that you couldn't escape Regé-Jean Page, like, at all. He was on the small screen, big screen, and even children's shows, which we know was watched by more parents than kids for those episodes. He was the talk of the town because of the ton, and constantly mentioned in the same breath as strong contender for Bond. So, whoever persuaded him to sign for just one series of Bridgerton really needs a talking to.
You may not understand this now, but Daphne, you must know. I am doing this for your own good.
Post-Duke and Pagemania has kind of fizzled out. A lackluster villainous performance in The Grey Man and too short a role in Dungeons & Dragons Honor Amongst Thieves has essentially been it.
There he goes.
However, all is not lost. He is reportedly taking over a famous Roger Moore role, Simon Templar. Lawrence Fox, Lewis.
This is what you're doing with your day off, sprucing out the bachelor pad.
After 30 years of playing Lewis, Kevin Whately retired the titular character of the Inspector Morse spin-off. Surprisingly, unlike Lewis, who grew from supporting to lead character, Detective Hathaway wasn't getting a spin-off. Actor Lawrence Fox was certainly able to carry his own show, but announced he was also completely stepping away from his character.
You've decided not to go.
Since then, Fox has rarely seen acting, although that's got little to do with his ability. The post-Lewis years have seen a shocking Question Time appearance here, a sojourn into politics there, some arrests, and this strange belief that Fox's controversial social commentary means letting his mouth go places his reputation can never return from.
As you've noticed, I say quite a lot of unfortunate things, but I think it's really important that one is able to express one's opinion.
Essentially, Fox is now persona non grata for most TV screens. Shame, we liked Hathaway. Kate Thornton, The X Factor, and Loose Women.
Is it 100,000 people applied?
Our number one pick, Kate Thornton, has seen her career die multiple times, and rarely by her hand. Upon Series 4 of The X Factor, Thornton was out, and Dermot O'Leary was in. There was no real reason why, except some headlines. Simon Cowell unceremoniously dropped the former editor of Smash Hits magazine. Remember that? It was a nasty move from Mr. Nasty. After some time, Thornton returned, co-anchoring Loose Women, but a couple of years later, she was let go from that too.
today, and that's it from me. Thank you.
Since then, Thornton occasionally pops up as a relief host on This Morning, the show which effectively started her TV career and has come almost full circle to radio, broadcasting those smash hits. Still, she must be wondering why she left journalism.
So of course, Holly's not here. Welcome, lovely to see you.
Thank you, Phil. Thanks for having me. Get well, Hol.
These are our top 10, but maybe you have another angle. Tell us which Exodus should have made the cut by sounding off in the comments below.
I was floored by how you'd managed to take everything that I was feeling about myself and life and just put it in a verse.
Do you agree with our picks? Check out this other recent clip from WatchMojoUK and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.